All right, it says I am live. This is just a little test. I have not done any live video yet, um, but I see a lot of people doing it, and so I figured I'd try my phone because that's the only thing I have that I can do live video on. And this is just a little test to see how it goes. So no one's watching right now, but that's all right. We'll see if it. Oh, look, someone's watching. Hey, how's it going? I'm just testing to see if the live video works because I don't do things on my phone a whole lot. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Oh, there's 13 people watching now. So much for a little test, I guess. I guess this is really happening. Yeah, no, guys, I was just testing to see if my camera on my phone would do enough. So, well, I've got 20 people watching, 19 people watching. Um, would you guys like question and answer, live video question and answers? Because that's what I was thinking about doing this for. If if you guys are interested. If you're not, then why bother? I don't know. Maybe I could set this up to do some live forging videos too, but this isn't my normal camera, so not sure. Um, hey, Paul. Good to see you. Yeah, I Freeze Forge. Hey, there you go. Freeze Forge getting ready to do a live stream video himself. See, there we go. That's why I don't like using my phone. Um, yeah, I guess everybody's saying it looks good. Live forging would be awesome. I don't have anything I can mount this camera to. What kind of camera do I use for my videos? I use I use this one. It's a Canon something. Can you see it? Where's the numbers on it? I don't know. Canon Vixia HFR70. Not a super expensive one. I bought it because you can put an external mic on it, and I used that for about 3 videos. The problem was the mic started screwing up, and I could never. You'd never knew it was screwing up until you were going to edit the videos, and by that point, it was too late. You had to redo everything. So yeah. So how do you do all live chat messages? Okay. How do I? Oh, there we are. Hey, look at that. How much does it cost to really start forging? David wants to know. David's workshop. It cost me. Let's see. My forge. I used an old brake rotor that I had from my Jeep. That didn't cost me anything. It cost me about $25 in plumbing parts for to get the airflow. It was a $2 hair dryer from Goodwill, so less than 30 bucks to get the forge built. The railroad track was just scrap that a buddy gave me. That was my first anvil. Um, it was a $3 hammer from a garage sale, and then a bag of coal from Tractor Supply, and that was it. So I'd say less than $40, and I was smithing for the first time. I mean, it took a little bit more to really get into it after that, but um, that's that's it. Live forging would be awesome. Yes, it would be. Both my favorite blacksmiths are doing or about to go live. Cool. I hope you're talking about Chris at Freeze Forge. He's a cool guy. What's HOJ stand for? It stands for Heap of Jeep, because that's how I started blacksmithing. If you go back and you watch all my earlier videos, they're all Jeep repair videos. Because that's another thing that I knew nothing about fixing my vehicles, and I made a New Year's resolution a few years ago, several years ago now, to never take my car to a mechanic again if I could help it. And so I taught myself how to be a mechanic. And within that, I fell in love with Jeeps, old Jeeps specifically. The one I drive now is a 1990 Cherokee. I'm working on a 95. You see the 95 Wrangler in the background of my videos. It's the one that's right outside my garage. And I'm working on that one. Hopefully that'll be on the road this spring. But I had that whole pile of Jeep parts, and it was like, what do I do with these? And so I started making things, trinkets, and then knives out of the old leaf springs, and bottle openers out of the tie rod ends, and just all kinds of fun stuff. How is my Forged in Fire quest going? Let me say good, and we'll leave it at that. I'm really not supposed to talk about it, so good is all you can get out of me. What else? What else? What else? My phone tried to autocorrect me the same way yours just did you. Okay. What's each of these? I think that's about it. 21 people watching me live, and I didn't even do it. So, I guess I really didn't plan for this. I didn't really have that much time. It was just going to be a quick test. But if you guys do want to do Q&As and things like that, I will absolutely love to. Jason Fish, do you like your gas forge? I like it. I don't like the cost of propane in my area. I do have 100-pound propane cylinders that I can't get filled. I can. I use propane at my house for heat, and I always forget to ask the propane guy to fill my 100-pound cylinders when he's here. And the propane place won't fill them unless they're standing up in my pickup truck when I take them in. I don't have a rack or anything, and they're really tall, and so I don't feel safe doing that. I feel safer lying them down, but they won't fill them if I lie them down. And so right now I'm only using the propane forge with the 20-pound cylinders and mainly just to heat treat. If I have something small to forge and I just want to get at it real quick, then I'll just fire that up and use it. But for the most part, I'm not doing anything with it except for heat treating. Have you tried or would you consider canister Damascus? Yes, I have thought about it. I would consider it. I actually, to redo my belt sander, I had to buy a whole bunch of 1.5-inch square tubing. So I've got tons of it left. And I was trying to think what else I could do with it. And I thought, yes, I will try canister Damascus. I don't know how it'll work by hand. But I guess we'll find out together. So I've just got to get the powdered steel ordered. And the guy I order steel from, Kelly Couples, does supply it. So that'll be cool. Do you have a shop rate? Generally, $50 is what I aim for on anything that isn't a knife. I don't always stick with that. When I price something, I'll take a widget, put a price on it at a $50 shop rate, put it out on the tables at the craft shows, and it comes out to $35. And someone comes up and says, "Would you take 20? Would you take 25?" I like haggling. I will haggle with them. So my shop rate isn't my shop rate. It's just what I base my prices on when I set them up. Catch you later. All right, Paul. Take care, man. You sucks. We love watching you, bub. Thank you, man. You said in a previous video that you don't have an LLC or anything. Doesn't that worry you a little bit since you sell on Etsy and supposedly Etsy reports sales to the government or taxes? No, I do file taxes. I don't have an LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Corporation. I file taxes as a sole proprietor. So yeah, when I file taxes, I am paying taxes on everything I make. But you do get to write off your mileage for how far you drive, and I drive quite a ways to get to the shows. I do get to write off quite a bit, and I don't make a ton. So I do end up owing a little bit, but the LLC is for the classes, because if you do a class, and someone gets hurt and you have an LLC, they can sue the corporation. They can't sue you. Without the LLC, they could come after me. It's my family. So with the LLC in place, that just sort of protects me. What's up, Jason? Hey, Martin. Good to see you, man. When are you going to make a trip to Canada and visit Freeze Forge and do a joint project? I don't know when I'm going to get to Canada. Probably not for quite some time. But Christopher did ask me a while ago to put together a Damascus billet for him so that we could do a joint project, and I absolutely want to do that. It's been a timing thing. I just got my knives into a local shop, and he's asking for more, and so finding time to do what I want to do is what's stopping me. Make a rack to go on your hitch receiver to haul your tank. Get down the road and you put it in the back. Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. I may have to try that. I would like to use the propane forge more, just in preparation for a little something something that might be coming up. Hint hint, nudge nudge. Can't talk about it. See you on your next video. Thanks so much for sharing. Yeah, absolutely, Jason. Good to see you. Rob, thank you. Um, let's call this one successful. And if you guys want to see more, we'll try to make it a regular feature, and I'll see if I can figure out some kind of way to mount this camera so we can do some actual forging while we're live. Please try to make a folding knife, friction or locking. Sure, they would sell pretty well too. Yeah, absolutely. I do want to try some folders. Dave McConnell, who was in that last video, does a lot of folders and was showing me how he mills them out. And I think I bought a mill from a guy. I don't know. He lives about 4 hours from me. Dave bought a piece of equipment from him. I bought a piece of equipment from him, and he was supposed to bring them up. He's never brought them up, so I don't know if I'm actually getting that mill, which would make doing some nice locking folders a lot easier. But a friction folder, that might be a lot of fun to try. I've never tried one, and it would be pretty cool. Did you ever get a chance to do something with that piece of steel I sent you a while back? Martin, yeah, I have never used that in a project. Martin sent me, I want to say it's like a blade from a road grader or something like that. Just a hunk of it. And I was actually working on a video for it. The problem was my video would have sucked because I started that project with the mindset that this wasn't going to be great steel. I thought it was going to be along the 4140. It would make good tool steel kind of thing. Didn't think it was going to be a great knife steel. And so in my process for what I do when I go to the scrap yard and get scrap steel and test it, my whole process, I went in with a preconceived notion and I was wrong. And so my preconceived notion went right out the window. Does it get hard? Martin asked. Yes, it does. Normally, I would quench it in oil to see if it hardened. If it didn't, then I would quench it in water to see if it hardened. You want to say hi? And that's my test. And depending on how well it hardens, how hard it gets, then I can, decide, okay, it's good for a blade, it's good for tools, it's whatever. I put it in the oil expecting it to stay soft, and the thing snapped like there was no tomorrow. At that point, everything I had recorded for the video, everything I'd done was like, okay, this is out the window. This is actually probably really good steel. So I do plan to do some more testing with it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Again, it's a timing thing. So we'll get to that. I know what you're getting at with that hint. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Hey, kids. Looking forward to that Damascus Collaboration. Yeah, Christopher, absolutely. And if you guys don't know Freeze Forge, go check out his link. I think you can link to it from all the comments that are scrolling up the side. Or go look at my last video. I put a link to Christopher's page in there. So pretty cool. All right. I'm going to go because I really didn't plan any time to set aside for this. This was supposed to be just a test, but let's do it on a regular basis. I'd love to answer questions for you guys, and we can just kind of plan it out. And, okay, you're asking more questions. What's your next big tool purchase? Probably that mill. I will call that the next one because I haven't gotten it yet. I haven't given him the money yet. We haven't done the transaction. So if that one falls through, then it'll probably be, I might look into getting a different one. What do you do with neighbors that call the cops when you forge? I shoot at their windows with a BB gun. No, I don't. My neighbors are really cool. The only one that my wife says they're loud anyways. They are. The only one that I ever thought might complain was the one that's next door on that side. But his kids are little demons racing in and out of the driveway at all hours of the night with their stinking cars, and I think he understands if he ever complains about me. Plus, I do the morning show at the radio station, so I'm not out forging real late. When I wasn't doing the morning show, when I was doing afternoons, I might be out there till 10 o'clock or so hammering, but I really tried to be respectful of the neighbors, and they have not once complained. So, fingers crossed that that luck holds out. Anything else? Nope, that's it. All right, thanks, guys. We will plan on doing this. And I'll try and put notices saying, hey, plan for it, and we'll have a little sit down and a little chat. And thanks. Cool. I guess this was a successful test. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.